Happy New Year to everyone. It is time to take a look at what's happening in the city of New Hope. Our chance to update with the mayor, Kathi Hemken. Welcome, Mayor. How are you as we begin this new year?
I'm fine, just fine, Dave. Looking forward to 2024.
Very good. Well, thanks for being with us. We're going to take a look at some fun facts from 2023 and also give you an update of a lot of things that are happening right now within the city. Let's begin with engineering and talk about some of the roads. And the road of topic all year has been 169. What can you tell us about progress there?
I know people thought they had heard enough about that 42nd Avenue Bridge, but there's a lot of extra work that needs to be done, like the ornamental fencing and just some planting along the way. They're also going to do a mill and overlay in the spring on 42nd from Xylon to Winnetka. So there'll be a little more disruption on 42nd. And I promise I'm going to quit talking about that bridge pretty quick. However,
Yes.
36th Avenue is next, and that bridge also will be removed. And we'll get you more directions on where you can get around that and how you can get around without that bridge. But I'm sorry about that, but more directions. And the other thing is, we're still working the problem with the curbing on our side of that 42nd Avenue bridge, not the Plymouth side. It really looks terrible. We're working with the county to try to fix that or do something different with that to get that repaired.
All right, more to come on that, more to come on 36th Avenue as that moves along. Let's talk about street banners now. As you drive down 42nd Winnetka, you see banners that are beautiful. Tell us who these come from and what the process is to get some updated banners.
Well, banners wear out and we replace them. And there comes to a time when we don't have any extras to replace them. And then it's time to do new ones. So a few years ago, we went to Hennepin County and had the graphic artists kids in school design the banners for us. So we went back to them and they designed a couple banners and they brought them to us. We looked at them. We've made a few little tweaks. They fixed that. And so now we're going to vote on the banners that are going to be approved on the 8th of January. So what'll happen then, if once we approve them, I'm hoping we'll get some of the students in so we can give them some credit for doing this.
Mhm.
This is just one of those wonderful partnerships. And these kids that are designing these banners now get to see their work up on poles along 42nd. So the banners won't go up until spring because, of course, we have to get them printed and get them put up, and they don't want to put them up in the winter. So in the spring, you'll see new banners on 42nd and on Xylon.
All right, hats off to the students at Hennepin Technical College for being part of that project. Scattered site housing, let's give residents an update. Where are we as far as numbers and activity out on the streets right now?
Well, we bought a few lots this year, and two of those lots had houses put on them. One of those houses sold for 575. Wow. So the average price of these houses that are selling is 510 that they're putting up. And in the last couple of years, they've done that average. By the summer of 2024, we hope to have six more houses in the works.
One other house we want to talk about and lot at this point is the 4965 Winnetka. How is that coming along? What is the latest on work going on there on the ground?
Well, they everything's gone. Also, if you've driven by, you see that they put down some sort of I don't know, just sheeting or something just to keep the dirt down, and they put some seed in there. They did divide that lot. That's done, and they won't do much now until spring, and then they'll probably start by putting the driveways in, and those two driveways will face 50th, and so we'll have two new addresses there.
Let's talk about the curbside appeal program for a moment. This is for all households in the city of New Hope, opportunity to spruce things up. How has that been going along?
Well, we had 22 people apply and or approved, and that totaled $210,000 worth of improvements. So the program is still going on. If you've got a project that you would like to get 25% refund on, bring the drawings into City Hall. Let our guys look at them. They'll tell you whether or not you've been approved for the project. And then when the project's done, they'll reimburse you 25%.
All right, this is all through the Community Development Department. Another area through that department is connection with businesses. And one way they connect is through a program called Elevate Hennepin. Help us understand what that is a little bit and how people can take advantage of it.
Well, Hennepin County has started this free program, so they can go online to Elevate Hennepin and get free advice on where to get a loan if you need a loan for a small business, how to start a small business, how to write your business plan, how to advertise, and it's free. And so you can just sign up for that. And a lot of it is done online. You don't have to even go in. And it's just a way to get small businesses a little leg up on their business.
Right. And again, there you see the website, elevatehennepen.org. You can find out more about that program. Let's talk about the business networking group. Took a little time off for the holidays, as we all did, but now they're back at it. What's next?
2 o'clock on the 3rd of January at City Hall. So the business networking group is Crystal and New Hope together. There's usually 20 to 30 people there. They're passing around business cards, talking about whatever their business is. The one on the 3rd is being hosted by Rockin' Nutrition. They're in Plymouth, but we invite them anyway. So it should be interesting to hear from them. The next one will be in February sometime, and that'll be an 8 o'clock meeting.
Great. Let's hop over to the police department, give residents a few updates of some of the activity there. The first is talking about a open position that it looks like the process is moving ahead. Where are we now?
Well, we're looking for a day shift police clerk. And so those applications have closed now. And what they'll do is they'll review them and then they'll interview. And we should have a police clerk in a couple of weeks.
Next item is something called a steering lock, and this is for a few types of vehicles. So another way New Hope Police is trying to reach out and help. Tell us more about the locks and how we can get them.
Well, you can get a free steering wheel lock I mentioned that, from the police department, and they're for Kias and Hyundais. And so with an ID that you live in New Hope, go into the police department and they'll just give you one of these and show you how to use it.
Another way the city's giving back is through West Metro doing some safety checks. And this is something that's as easy as a phone call, I understand as well, Mayor.
It is. This is West Metro Fire Department. And they'll come out and do a safety check in your house for free. So what they do is they make sure that your smoke detectors are working. They'll talk about extension cords, make sure that your outlets are working. Basically, we don't want a fire to start. And this is the way to make sure that you're safe. This is a free program through West Metro. You can call the number on your screen and set up an appointment with Shelby, and she'll come out and just take a look around the house and help you out.
All right, Shelby is the greatest. She will definitely give you some good pointers for home. Last thing in this area is a ride-along with the police department. This is something that's being offered. How can we take advantage of this, and why is it something that might be of interest to people?
Our police department is really into giving back to the community. They want people to understand what policemen do. So they've decided that what they're going to do is as many ride-alongs as they can. So you call the police department, or you can go online to our city's website, go into the police department, and you can actually sign up for a ride-along. Those ride-alongs happen during the day and in the evenings. I don't know if it's early morning that they do them too, but the police are out all the time. And doing that ride-along, you really get a real understanding on what those police officers do and how concerned they are with safety in our community.
And there again, you see the city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find that out there, and also many other things happening in the city. One thing that is a little slow right now is public works related to snow plowing. They just haven't had the snow to plow.
They haven't. The other day, though, when it did snow a little bit, they were out laying down some chemicals. That chemicals, if it's not real cold, they can put those down and it'll melt the snow that's on the roads. So what I asked them, well, what are you guys doing if you're not plowing snow? And they just laughed at me. Apparently, what they're doing is they're oiling their equipment, they're checking it, they're fixing what they didn't have time to fix. Once it snows and they get really busy, that's not the time to decide the plow doesn't work. So they're making sure everything is oiled and running fine and they're ready to go. They're not wishing for snow, however, but if we have some, they'll be there ready to take care of it.
But there is another department that's wishing for a little snow, and that is Park and Rec, because they want you to get out and build things out of snow. This is an annual event that goes on. Tell us more about the process behind making snow things.
Well, snowman snow sculpture contest. Obviously, you have to have snow to do this. Well, maybe you can make ice. I don't know. Anyway, so that is, if it ever does snow, they'll be accepting applications. What you do is you build your little snowman or your sculpture, take a picture, send it to the Park and Rec department. with your name and address so they know where to find you and a phone number. And you can send those in until the end of March. So hopefully between now and the end of March, we'll have some snow and you can enter the snowman contest.
I think the chances are good. Another winter activity that happens inside that's very popular is gymnastics. Tell us about this big program.
So that the new gymnastics classes will start next week. I don't know if there's still time to sign up, but you can look in your park and rec book and see if there is room to still sign up for that. But those will start next week. And then our New Hope Skating School, that starts also next week on the 8th of January. Again, look in your park and rec book to see, I think that's on page 4, to see when that is and if they have room for that. But they have all different levels from adult beginners to small children advanced.
All
So
right. And here's that booklet right here with these young basketball players on the front. So look inside there, all of that information, page 4 to find out more. And throughout the book, some great information. All right, time for some fun facts here about a couple of park and rec facilities. Let's go to the golf course first. You've got some numbers to compare for the past couple of years. And as always, it's very busy.
these just amaze me. So in 2023, at the golf course, they had 26,294 rounds. In 2022, they had 25,088. So more rounds this year than they had last year. We had a nice, I actually went out and played 3 holes on Christmas Day.
Right, good for you.
It wasn't pleasant though, but
Mm-hmm.
just to say that I could. So also at the golf course, the emerald ash trees that are sick, they've almost all gotten taken down. There's 4 left, they tell me. And then what happens is they'll clean up the mess in the parking lot. Because what they do is they cut the trees down, they haul all the brush to the parking lot, and then they have to come and pick it all up there. So
Mm-hmm.
they're almost got that covered.
All right, a couple other activities are happening at the golf course as we go through winter. One is the clubhouse for rental, and 2 is a winter golfing event. Yes, we said winter golfing that happens towards the end of January. Help us understand what this is.
Well, winter golfing, we need snow for that too.
Yeah.
And what they do is they kind of plow paths. That's going to be on the 27th of January. They plow paths, and you get a tennis ball and you use a golf club, and they'll give you a golf club if you don't have one. And the ball bounces off the sides of the little path, and you play, I don't know, 9, 8 holes, something like that. As soon as you're sick of it, and usually
Mhm.
they have a little fire on the patio, and you can roast marshmallows and make s'mores, and it's just one other fun thing to do.
Very
The
nice.
other thing that's really nice is our clubhouse is beautiful, and it's for rent. It's very reasonable. You can bring in your own food. Um, just it's a nice place to have a anniversary party, a birthday party. You don't have to do the cleaning. We do that for you. And then when you're done, you just take your stuff out and then we clean up for you for that too. I do want to warn people if they have any idea that they're going to have a graduation party and they want to use the clubhouse, now's the time to get on that calendar because that one fills up pretty quick from like mid-May until July.
Great advice. Let's hop over to the ice arena and talk about some of the activity there and what's coming up. As far as activity over the New Year's holiday after Christmas up to New Year's, the girls hockey players took over the arena for some big tournament play.
They did. CCX sponsored this tournament, and they were it's the girls' high school, both varsity and junior varsity.
Mhm.
Apparently, there were 8 teams. In the final round, Bemidji won over Armstrong Cooper, score 6-2. But it was really great that Armstrong Cooper got that far in the tournament. So it was a really, really busy place up there. If you haven't ever been to a high school game,
Yeah.
oh, they're so much fun, and they're pretty reasonable to go watch.
Yep, great fun had by all. Other things happening at the ice arena. It looks like you're opening up things for another day because there's no ice outside. You want to provide some inside.
We do. So that's on the 4th of January from 11 to 1. So the kids can come in and with their skates, just skate around in the ice. At least there's ice and it's warm. I do want to mention that the movie and the skate that they had last week drew over 250 people. It was just a huge event.
All right, a couple more numbers to pass along. This time, the warmer part of the year, the Aquatic Center. Mayor, what did the numbers look like over the past year for the pool in that area?
Again, this is astonishing to me. They sold 2,524 season passes. That's about 200 more than they sold last year. And they had over 55,000 entries coming in, and that's not counting the swim classes. So the pool was a really, really busy time. That's about 6,000 more people coming to the pool than the year before. Now, I read somewhere that the pool in Crystal is going to close for some repairs,
Right.
pretty much all of 2024. So we're going to see that number even bigger.
It will be a busy place, no doubt. Also, a busy place will be right across the parking lot at City Hall because of elections this year. All right, begin to give us the rundown. When do things get started? It's not as far away as people might think.
No, it's not. So 2024 is an election year for federal, state, and city governments. The primary for the presidential election starts on the 19th of January for write-in votes.
Mm-hmm.
The 19th of January. The actual primary will be the 5th of March.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to vote in that primary, anytime after the 19th, you can go in. You can register at the polls. Our city clerk trains about 80 election judges. Now, I did talk to her about that, and she said she has enough election judges for the primary, but she's probably going to need more for the November election. So keep an eye on that. If you're interested in doing that, she tries to get you in the same area that you live in, but you can't always. And you don't have to work the full day for the election. She can break that up into part days, but you do have to go through the training. So if you're interested, call that number on your screen, and Val will help you get registered for that.
All right. Also, the website, newhopemn.gov, again, a place to find out about all of that information and also about this next piece of information because there will be local races as well. So if people might be interested in running for a local office, how can they do that?
Well, they call it filing, and that'll open on May 21st. It'll be open till June 4th. And so that filing will take place for anybody that's interested in running for city council in New Hope or mayor in New Hope. And if you want to file, I think you just fill out a form. It used to be $5. I don't know if it's still that cheap, but it's not a real big deal financial deal to file.
All right, here's another way to get involved in the city, and that would be through commission openings. So not as many meetings maybe as the council, but an opportunity still to give back and get involved. What are some of the opportunities available now?
So we have a lot of commissions, and those commissions are volunteer positions. And pretty much what they do is they advise the council. We don't have time to look at all of the stuff that's going on. So a lot of stuff will go through the commissions, and then they will come back to us and give us their recommendations. So we're looking for people for the Human Rights Commission and the Citizens Advisory Commission. And both of those commissions are accepting applications until the 15th of January.
And that process as well on the city's website. Let's talk about the Good Citizenship Award, something that is coming back and really is something that neighbors should take part in. How does this work?
We established this in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And for about 3 years, it was pretty active, and then it just kind of slowed down. Well, we're going to try to bring that back in 2024. You can get an application at City Hall. You can also go online and get the application. You just fill out a few very simple questions, your name and address, the person you're recommending, their name and address. And then if they're chosen for this award, they'll be asked to come to a city council meeting where we can recognize them in public and give them a little pin and thank them for all that they do for the community.
Here's a couple final updates on some facts and also some little bits of information that may be of interest to you. The first fact related to homes in the city of New Hope. We talked earlier about some of those that are within scattered site. Well, you've got some numbers here in general in the city. What have you seen happening?
Well, we use the Hennepin County assessor to give us numbers on the prices of housing. So the median house price in New Hope is $326,050, considerably higher than it was.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is we have something called Wacky Wednesdays at City Hall. And with Wacky Wednesdays, you pay $5 and you can bring some food. So they collected 1,386 pounds of food and a little over $1,000, and all that'll be given to near the food shelf.
Congratulations to the city staff for helping out with that. All right, let's talk about something that is of note, and you may miss it if you go by too fast in the parking lot at City Hall that is making life easier. What is it?
It is. So there used to be a drop box at the utility building at Public Works. Well, we've moved the utility building to City Hall, and so we thought it made sense to move the box too. And so as long as they're going to move the box, what they did is they put it right on the side so you can simply drive by. You don't have to get out of your car, and the box is lit up. I would suggest that when you come into the parking lot, you actually, if you're in the driver's seat and don't want to get out, you should go around the parking lot so that you're facing east, I guess it would be, to drop it off. If you've got somebody in the car with you, then you want to be facing west. And it's right there, and it's, yay, we finally did it.
Very nice. All right, a final note here. We've been having some fun about the winter weather and the lack of ice out there, but there is a success story related to the ice in the city of New Hope. Mayor, tell us the details.
Oh, this is just too funny, I think. Well, these guys have been going out, the public works guys, and throwing down water to try to get it to freeze so they can have ice for the ice rinks. Well, so they've been doing that, and one day last week, there were a bunch of ducks swimming in the water that was supposed to be used for the ice rink. And I think you have a picture of that. How cute is that?
Yes.
So now it's getting just a little bit colder. I'm hoping that ice is actually going to start forming up pretty quick here.
Yep, the ducks might have to move along because they're going to get stuck if they sit there too much longer. But hey, a nice use of that great area in the city. Well, Mayor, thanks again for the update. Always great to chat with you. Stay with us because we've got a couple updates of events coming up in the city. And Mayor, we'll look to talk to you again next week. Have a great week.
Thanks, Dave. You too. Bye-bye.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.